I'm investing $50 a month to make $1 million in less than 7 years. I'm not an advisor, so anything you see on this video is not for advice. If you're needing advice, see an advisor and do what's best for your portfolio, and please don't follow anything on here as a suggestion. All right, so with my investment challenge, I've got a certain strategy that I use where I don't sell for a loss, which means I end up holding stocks for longer, which is why I use dividend stocks. I only buy and sell Canadian dividend stocks because I don't pay fees, and that allows me to use a smaller margin to get that gain that I want. The gain that I want is something that's going to turn over quickly, similar to day trading, but not day trading. No day trader would ever say what I'm doing is day trading, but just in the sense that I am trying to turn it over quickly and get that gain, get that cash flow. The more cash flow I have, the more often I can turn it over for a higher amount, which means I'm going to gain more on a daily basis. So that's really the whole motivation. And that brings me to what's going on today, where I didn't have a lot of cash flow. I did make a purchase, and that stock that I purchased, I'm going to share with you right away. I think it's gonna stick to what I want, which is to have a drop and then a quick turnover, but I do have my doubts about it, so we'll get into that as well. There's really nothing in my portfolio that looks like it's going to turn over here quickly. There's a lot of downturn right now, but I'm not down a ton, so it is possible. Any upward turns, I've had some good luck recently where I've had larger than normal gains, which is kind of to be expected. Sometimes things work out better for you, you have better luck. Sometimes things don't work out as well for you, and you get some bad luck. So you might plan it out, you might follow your strategy, or in my case, I 90% of the time follow my strategy, and then I have that one little thing where I kind of goof up, which I did last week. But let's get into what I bought today. So what I bought today was PEY, which is pay to expirations. It's on the Canadian Stock Exchange, and if you look at it for the 1 year, you can see it's been up rather healthy for gains, and it's up 28%. So typically this wouldn't be one that I am normally looking at, but it's had a couple downturns, and I feel like its upward trajectory is warranted. It does have a yield of 6.79%, which EPS is 1.48, so those are positive signs for me. And I do feel like the oil price does have potential for upward movement, and this stock would most likely have that price movement affect their price for the stock as well. So I feel like I'm not going to be stuck in this one forever, but I do have my doubts whether or not it's going to turn around quickly, and I still think there's upward momentum for the stock. Just how soon is that going to happen? So that's what I bought. Now I only had, I think, ability to buy 3 shares, and you can see it's not an overly pricey stock. All right, so let's get into the next thing. So next I just wanted to share with us is my weekly buys and sells. So it's a Monday, so I only have the one. I had $56.64 what I purchased. I'm trying to get a 1% gain in a day, and that's where it's at. Nothing else I bought is coming through. I bought CNR on Friday. It doesn't want to turn around, but I did get some sells last week, so those stocks that I'd held on to for a little bit did turn around. So some positive movement there. And yeah, let's take a look at the account now. All right, so with my investment challenge, I'm down to cash availability of $9.57, which means I can buy next to nothing. I can buy one really cheap stock. Now I do have a couple stocks on my list that would fall into this category, where I'd be able to buy 1 share, and I will if I can. But those stocks that I have on my list are typically high right now, and I don't really want to be playing with stocks when they're higher. Although when it's a low amount like $9, I might take the chance if I feel like it's going to have a quick drop and bounce. My overall is 542, which I'm still happy with. That's actually quite a bit above where my trajectory is right now, which is in the mid-4s, 400 range, is where, based on the spreadsheet I set up, I'm supposed to be at about $438 or somewhere in there. So I'm still quite a ways ahead of my trajectory for what I should be at the end of July to make my $1 million in less than 7 years. And so I'm not at the point where I'm going to make it in like 5 years yet, but if I can keep this progression going forward, great. But what's going to hurt me now is things like holding stocks that I didn't get the quick turnaround on. If I don't get a dividend and I hold it for 2 weeks, that means I got really just the 1% over 2 weeks, and I need to try and aim for about 1% a day or 1% every 2 or 3 days would be the best scenario. And if I'm getting 1% a week, that's going to be low, but it's actually a lot better than the dividend, which would pay me out, over a 3-month period, or some within a 1-month period. So that's it. That's my investment challenge. I hope you'll follow along. I do have a link below for Wealthsimple, which is what I'm using right here, and I do like them because I have 0 fees, and it's super easy to use. That is a great factor for somebody who is wanting to do online trading but doesn't have a ton of time, and you want to maximize what your gains are with small amounts of dollars. So definitely use that link if you're looking for a broker, and Wealthsimple fits into what it is you want to do. Hit subscribe and like, and follow along for my next video.